Hello, welcome back. My name is Martha Howe. We are going to do a little bit of everything today. I want to try to get your heart rate up and show you some options to kind of build your levels if you're at more of a beginner level. If you're at advanced level, fantastic. I'm glad to have you here as well. Just want to make it available to all people. All right, so let's do a quick warm-up. I'm in a parallel position. Circle the arms up toward the sky. Open that chest up, stretch it out. You can kind of see from the side. I'm pressing my hips slightly forward, opening the spine. Roll down through the spine. Feel that lengthening through the vertebrae, each of those bones of your back. Shake your head no. Nod it yes. Bend into your knees a little bit and stretch your legs straight. We're going to do this just a couple of times. You don't have to go all the way straight. You can go kind of just a little halfway down and a halfway up. Just getting some mobility is the focus. You don't have to worry so much about your range. We're going to walk the hands forward, feet back. Find a plank position. And here, we want to make sure the shoulders are right over the wrists. We're going to drop the hips back and forth, rocking across our feet. This gives our feet a little bit of mobility, our core some time to adjust and get warmed up, build some heat across the back and through the shoulders. We're going to draw the hips back into a little bit of a downward dog, and as we do, build up just a little bit more mobility through our feet by treading across the feet, heels lifting up and down, and opening up through the shoulders here. You can kind of shift a little bit deeper side to side across the hips and waistline. That might feel good to do. Getting a little bit further into this, we shift forward to that plank. Then we're going to draw the hips back, bending the knees. We'll do this a few times. Think about that propelling motion as you shift forward, pushing out of the legs. This will help us get that warm up we want. We'll do just one more. We're going to pull back, lower those knees down, pull the hips back, and walk those fingers away. And as we do, you can allow those hips to lift up a little bit and the arms to stretch out a little. Breathe into that. Walking the hands back underneath the shoulders. A quick rounding through the spine here. If you're familiar with yoga, some cat-cow, lengthening through the back, going the opposite direction. And then repeating that, rounding through it, stretching it out, lengthening it out, and going the opposite direction. Good. Tuck those toes under, draw your hips back so that you're back into that downward dog, and walk your feet toward your hands. Or the other way, whatever works. Feel just a little bit more depth across the back of the legs. Bend into the knees, and as you do, just a gentle sway side to side. So I'm going to face towards you. You can kind of just hold your elbows and then gently shift side to side. You can do this with straight legs or bent, kind of whatever is feeling good for you right now in your body. And then coming back through that center line all the way up. I'm going to roll my shoulders a couple of times. Do my elbows bent, full circle, reaching through the arms. And then repeat that, so shoulders forward this time. Then a couple with the elbows. And then a couple full circle through the arms. Good. Now taking this wide stance with a slightly turned out position, so our toes are pointing just barely away. You're going to bend into the knees and keep those knees so that they are over the toes. And you're going to go into a nice little deep squat. Now if I'm doing this from the side, you can see my spine is long, and then stretch the legs straight. And when you do, just press those hips forward a little bit. Bend and extend. This is part of that warm up. Keep those knees wide over the toes. Now if you have a band, one of those resistance bands, you could even add this, wrapping it around your thighs there, tying it, unless you have the circular one, and then that would be even more into that outer thigh. We're going to do 4 more, so we're doing 10 to 12. If you're going faster or slower, you might get to 15, you might do 8, somewhere in that range. Then we're going to stay down for this one, and we're going to pulse it out, little pulse, pulse, pulse. So this is just getting us started here. I'm going to come back to face you. We'll go for 5, 4, 3. Hopefully you're feeling the warmth generated. Last one. Stretch those legs straight. Here we're going to rotate the hips just a little bit more if you have that space. And we're going to shift it side to side. And this is just a gentle little shift side to side, moving across the hips, the knees, the ankles, watching that the knees are over the toes. You can kind of reach to the floor as you go. If that's too much to be down, feel free to stay up. You can put your hands on your hips even and just keep it kind of small and shift it side to side. Our goal is to kind of open up through the hips, outer and inner thighs, and just get that mobility across those legs. Here we're going to come back to that squat. So we're going to bend into it and stretch it straight. Bend, stretch it straight. 3 more. 2. Good. Now this time, staying down, we're going to lift our heels a little bit and pulse. Pulse. Now if you need to, you got a chair nearby, grab that for a little extra balance. We're going for 5. Try to keep those heels lifted. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that down. Stretch it straight. Reach that over. Long reach through the body. And then we're going to come down to a plank position. So finding your plank, here we want to get that nice long plank, but you can also work from a kneeling position as well. I'm going to shift my chair a little. So finding the plank, we're going to do a little mountain climber. So first those knees tuck through the center. So I'm keeping my legs in a parallel. Now if your knees are down, you would just be alternating. And additionally, you can do this with the forearms as you go. So lots of options here. Doing about 10. Now we're going to rotate it. So same elbow and knee. So you're drawing that knee to that same side elbow. And we're going for about 10 of each of these. Abs are strong. I'm going to push that floor away and we hollow out the abs, tighten them up. Good. Now we're going to stay in our plank and we're going to draw the opposite knee to the shoulder. Opposite knee and shoulder or elbow. This will be a little bit harder to do if you are on your knees, so you can try to do any of those other variations we were just doing. Or maybe just hold it. If you are building up your strength and wanting to just hold, that's great. You could practice lifting and lowering 1 foot at a time. Good. We're going to finish that out. Lower both knees down. Pull back into that child's pose. Roll up. Shake it out. Hopefully by now we're feeling some warmth moving through the body. Grab your weights. Now I have just a couple bottles of fluid. This is my truly at-home quarantine workout. Coming onto your back here and holding each weight in your hands. Now you don't have to have your weights if you don't want them. Totally up to you. Lift your legs through that tabletop position. We're going to flex forward. Our spine is in an imprint. We'll go single leg, reaching out. Now, if we need support for our neck, one hand with a weight, one hand at the back of the head. If you want it to be more challenging, both legs go out and in together. If you want it to be less challenging, that single leg toward the sky will help, Also, you can work with the head down and work any variation with the head down. Good. So this first one, we're just kind of holding and balancing with the weights. We'll finish this out, and then we're going to lowering down. The legs are going to stay lifted up toward the sky. You can have them bent if you'd like. And we're going to reach just to one side, up and down. Breathe it out. Now you can extend those legs. Like I was saying, you can do a variation where you tuck and extend. And if you want more challenge, take the legs lower. Good. 5 more. 4 more. Breathe it out. That means you get to access deeper into the abs. 3, 2. We go to the other side. Same thing. Reach it out. Remember, this can be done without the weights. Hands at the head. Legs super high or even very still. So any variation. We'll do 2 more. 1 more time. Good. Lovely. Now you can continue to hold those weights if you have need for that neck support. Both weights in one hand would be awesome. We're going to take the legs up and out into a straddle, and that straddle can be with a bent knee or with a straight leg, and we're going to reach through it. We're going for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. If you have both weights, 3, better switch that out, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it up and reach for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything in. Continue to hold those weights. We'll go right into our bridge. Now, if you have a band that you can use, or even a pair of leggings, something tights of that kind, wrap it around the legs here so we can get just a little bit more out of our workout. With your feet flat on the mat, your knees bent, knees pointing up toward the sky, weights in hand. We're going to press the hips up, open the legs against that band, and then bring it back down. So we're working into our outer thighs, our glutes, our hamstring, as well as getting into that upper body with the arms. I mean, sort of, kind of. In this position, making sure that when you lift those hips off the floor, you're not taking any weight into the head or neck. The weight stops up there at the scapula, your shoulder blades. We're going to stay up for this one. Now feel free to open and close the arms with the legs, or you can just keep your arms there or not do them at all. But the legs are opening and closing like a book opens and closes. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Pressing into those outer thighs, activating into our outer thigh as well as into some of our glute muscles. Good, now we're gonna hold and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep pressing the hips up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the hips up here. If you need to take a break, please do so. Extend your leg out. So we've got one leg down, one leg up. We're gonna lift and lower. Now you have that band, so you're pushing from that band, and if you'd like to, you can start to move those weights with the arms and then with the legs. We have 4. Try to keep the hips lifted. 3, 2, fill those glutes. 1, return that down. Take a break if you need it. Otherwise, extend that leg out. We're moving in opposition here. Keep your abs engaged. Filling the core tight. Activate into the inner thighs. Lovely, everybody. 5 and 4, 3. Abs are strong. Lift those hips. 2, 1. Everything comes in and down. You can release those weights down. Pull that band off the legs and roll up. Good. Now from here, feel free to have your feet down, your knees bent, or to go into a totally straight leg position. We start tall here. We slowly roll down. Now, if you need a little assistance, those knees bending, you can kind of just hug one knee into the chest to help roll you down. And you can do that on the way up as well. And then we roll it up. Reach those fingers to the toes. Lift it up this time. Roll it back. Good. Now wherever you are in this, if you just can lift a little bit and then lower back down, that's totally fine. Focus on that lift. Good. If it helps you to anchor your feet a little bit, then anchor your feet a little bit. Up to you. Finding that position that works for you. Good. We're going to lift our legs here. And here we're going to try to lift up and down. And you can grab your weights and try to reach your fingers to your toes. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Good. Now if you want, you can lower one leg and lift for more challenge, or lower both legs as you go. You can work with your legs down and reach up to it. So you've got lots of variations. I'm going to go back to the original one. Feel free to bend the knees if you need a little bend. Support the head and neck if you need that support. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it all the way back in. Nice, everybody. Let's come to our side. You can continue to use your weight here. So forearm is down, weight in your hand if you like. Extend those legs out long or keep one knee bent under you. We're going to do a little side plank here. Breathing into that, we reach it up and we come back down for this side plank. Should be feeling strong through that center line of the body. We go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it here. Stay here for me. Breathe into that. Keep those hips up. We have 3, 2, and 1. That was about 10 seconds. And we switch to the other side. And we go for that same thing, finding that long plank. Breathe into it, lift and reach it up. Take that over. Long stretch. Oh yeah. Starting to feel that heat moving through the body. We have 4 more. Shoulders right over the forearm. 3. Good. 2. We stay for this up. Lift up, hold it there. Breathe into it. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we bring it all the way back in. All right. Nice. Good, so here we're gonna come up, we're gonna do just a little bit of cardio. I'm gonna show you what your options are. If you need to have your shoes on for this, because you just need a little more support for the feet, please, 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 feel free to get it. You're gonna step and reach and tap that foot behind. Step, tap that foot behind. So now you can make that into a jump, and it doesn't matter what that jump looks like. And if you wanna add your weights to this, the dancer in me is like trying to like get all jazzercise on you. But if you have a need, then fill that with the weights. Add that leap or don't. You can step side and just get low. This is good as well. Reaching across the body, activating into that inner thigh. Sorry, inner thigh, but I meant obliques. So sometimes I would say random things. So wherever you're at, keep going. We're working through this. Good. Just a couple more. Get a full good minute in here. Good. Walk it out. Now here, I'm going to turn to the side. I'm going to lift one leg at a time. Now if you're like ready to get right into the cardio, and this is, like where you're at, then great. Stay here, go as fast as you can. If you want more, then we're gonna lift, a little high knee action. Which you've seen these before, so this is probably not new to you. Keep it going. We're doing about a minute of this. If you need to slow it down, slow it down. If you need your shoes, use your shoes. We're going for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. We gotta grab a little drink. Good. We're gonna come into a lunge. So I'm gonna face to the side. When you're in this position, your feet, both of them are pointing straight in front of you. So whatever way you're facing, bend your knee, your back knee, lift your back heel, and bend and stretch through the legs. Now as you're doing this, feel free to grab your weights. You can do a little bicep, take that bicep out in front of you. You can do a tricep press. We're doing about 10 of these, so we have just a couple more. Then we're going to stay down and pulse. Pulse. You can press overhead with this. You can press behind. Do straight arms or bend. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn to the other leg. Same thing. You're finding that lunge. Whatever the variation is in your arms, just make sure you're balanced between the arms. Remember, if you have any knee issues, just make it a little bit smaller. We go into our little pulses, little pulse. Trying to get a little deeper. You could try to get that knee down to the floor even. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring that in. Those weights going down. That water. Okay. How are we feeling? Hopefully good. Let's actually keep a hold of our weights. Make sure that our head stays above our heart here and do just some weight exercises. I'm gonna bend into my knees here, get nice and deep. Think like sumo squat and punch those arms out. I'm rotating through the arm and shoulder to activate deeper across those muscles. We're gonna go high, then low. Go back high. 4, 3, 2, 1, go low. 2, 3, again, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and low. Good, now straight in front of you, add a rotation. So you feel that waistline rotate and the legs stay solid. You can get deeper. Good, now we're gonna reach it over and in. You can extend the other arm with it or keep it in. We're getting into our glutes and into our quads here. Other side, reach it over. Reach and over. Long stretch. Breathe it in and out. How long can you hold this deep squat? Can you get it deeper? Almost through it. Last round. Over and reach and stretch. Stretch those legs straight, rock the hips out a little bit. Put my weights down. Let's come back to doing some ab work so that we're feeling balanced everywhere. Here, the hands are going to come behind the head. Now, if your heart is beating really fast, you need to catch your breath. Take a moment, catch your breath. We don't want you to get lightheaded while you're in this position. We're going to rotate. One leg reaches out long. Reaching through the legs, also finding that rotation through the waistline. Good. Now the legs go straight legs. We're going to reach that leg up. Now if your legs aren't splitting very far, they're just going here or they're kind of bent, doesn't matter. You're still getting the workout. I am so focused on my breath here, I can barely talk to you. The more that you connect with the breath, the better it is for you. Now tuck your knees in. I'm going to kind of put the bottoms of the feet toward each other and then reach it out. Reach it in, reach it out. Try to keep your imprint through the back. If your head needs that support, do that. Even think of keeping the head down as you go. We'll do 3 more. 2, 1, and roll ourselves upright. Hopefully you're feeling it. Let's come to a standing position next. And here, if you have something to lean on, you want to lean on it, fantastic. We're going to take that leg out to the side. We're going to lift it up and down. Now you can see I have a lean in my body here as well. Both of my feet are pointing straight in front of me. Now this can be done with a flexed foot. You should feel this through the outer thigh into that glute. We have 2 more. Good, 1 more. Good, then we're gonna lift and pulse. Pulse, reach it out. 2 and 1. Switch to your other side, same thing. We're lifting and lowering here. Good, now remember you can flex that foot. We have 5 and 4, 3 and 2. Good, we stay up and we're gonna pulse, pulse, pulse. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring that in. Did you feel it in your glutes? I hope so. Okay, let's take our last couple of minutes together and do just a quick little stretch out, stretch down. We've been working pretty solidly for 28 minutes. So both knees bent, feet are kind of sort of loosely stacked, and then you're gonna just reach toward your shin. Now your hand is on the shin, and you can start to kind of lean away from it and stretch out through that side body. And then bring that in and up. Switch to the other side to do that same thing. So we reach that over, find that, and then kind of rock gently away from it and feel that stretch. Good. And now here, we're going to cross the ankle at the knee. So that's your figure 4 stretch. I'm going to turn a little bit to the side. Now you can have your hands there on the floor or the elbows. If that is enough for you, well, great, fantastic. If you need just a little bit more, I recommend lying down on your back. Gentle press into that knee away while the other arm is supporting that leg toward you. Or you can interlace your fingers behind that thigh and just kind of tug that leg in to get that stretch. So finding the stretch that feels right for you, where you get that release. And then we'll do that on the other side. Pick your version and then just kind of release that hip into it. Good. Roll that on up. Let those bottoms of the feet come together. Let the knees drop out, and let's do a stretch across the shoulder. So we did about 30 minutes today. My goal was to kind of hit different areas and also kind of move a little bit quicker so that you could get that heart rate up. So hopefully that is what you're feeling. And if you do have any questions or suggestions, or you were missing some point, please feel free to let me know. I'd love to be able to make this better for you. Then reach those fingers in front of you and stretch into that lower back. And roll yourselves all the way upright. Thank you so much for coming to join me today, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Have a good one.